I was kind of the guinea pig. They would feed me a little bit and say, Dad, what do you think of that? And some of them I would say, no, I don't think that's the one. But after 2 or 3 glasses, it didn't matter anymore. I drank even the worst of what they produced.
We went a little bit blind into this business and we didn't understand what was required outside of the making of the product. We provide an experience that most people aren't used to. You're driving to the end of a dusty gravel road and you show up into a yard that's an operating farm, essentially. You know, we always joked it would be hilarious to make booze in the woods and have people come out here to get it. Right now it consists of my dad, who is our beekeeper, our head beekeeper, my brother, who is our head mead maker, myself, I've become the politician, I believe. And then we've got a cousin involved that has taken over the majority of our sales. And one of my best friends from high school is kind of coming in to be our apprentice beekeeper. And that was something we kind of desired, was to create a family organization, because we all love spending time together, and when you're working, that detracts from it. I believe it was sitting around over a bottle of mead and decided that we were going to take a shot at doing this as a family business. And we actually had, I think, almost 400 people show up on our grand opening day, and it changed the perspective completely.
The cottage winery license was a pretty new thing when we were getting going, and it was just kind of a hobby that we started bashing our heads together and decided that we'd try to turn it into a business. And it was kind of a way to further our father's beekeeping operation and generate more income off of that, which it turns out it was a whole bunch of work. But it's getting to the point now where it's starting to pay off and we're getting a bit of our lives back.
So you've been making things forever?
Basically, yeah. Carpentry, then kind of winemaking, so I call it the Jesus path. Next I'll be betrayed by my best friend and murdered.
So tell me about mead. It's something not many people know about.
It had its time in the sun probably 500 years ago, and it's an alcoholic beverage that's made from honey. So we have to dilute honey in order to make it fermentable, but the sugars in honey ferment the same as the sugars in anything else. So it actually gives us a huge range of things that we can play with.
I see an experiment there at the back.
That's my favorite thing in this room. That's an old Jack Daniel's barrel.
Yeah.
They're one of the easier ones to get nowadays, but every barrel seems to be hard to get your hands on. So
it is, because of the history that goes with the barrel too. Lots of love for this one, fella. We'll be meeting again. When is that? 1 month from now? 10 months from now?
Probably another month and a half, 2 months from now.
Month and a half?
Yeah.
Month and a half. We'll be back, okay?
We may just save it for our anniversary party. We'll see.
We'll see. And you gonna give us a taste of that one? Wow.
This was one straggler bottle that we found kicking around 2 days ago.
Under a seat in the van.
Yeah.
Under a seat in the van. Guys, the RCMP must love you as well, I guess. Under a seat in the van.
It was in Dad's work truck, so we're not sure how he got it. But, so this is the first use of the barrel.
Fellas, I'm honored. I'm really honored.
You can smell the whiskey coming out on it.
Oh yeah, you can. This is not something you drink. This is something you might love to. Isn't it?
It's
No?
How do you think we made it?
It's all
Luckily, you're not mic'd.
I know. You don't have another mic, do you? He's the funny one in the crowd. Beautiful thing about honey is that it never goes bad. Honey is a big thing in Alberta. We produce about 65% of Canada's honey. These early season honey flows are pretty minor and they become maintenance honey for the bees. We're only about 3 weeks a year is where they're actually producing honey in this part of the world. It's amazing that it's coming in right now. It bodes well for the health of the bees going into the busy season. So this is 2 distinctly different honeys, and you know, we know this is dandelion honey because of the time of season that it comes in and when it blooms, because the dandelions are
Oh, I smell it immediately when you open it. I can.
Completely different smell.
Yeah, you should smell this.
Different flavor.
Yeah. This is the hopped one.
Right. So with hop mead, we have a slightly different approach to it. We've caramelized 25% of the honey before we put it in to ferment. This gives this different color here. That caramelization helps do a couple things. It helps give it a little bit more body, a little bit of perceived sweetness. We're using Cascade and Chinook hops, which are very citrusy hops by nature. So you're gonna stick your nose in this and you're gonna get citrus notes coming out of it. Maybe blood orange rind.
This is well balanced.
Very well balanced.
Very well balanced.
This particular beverage, I think, is amazingly special.
You guys have to taste this. This is worthwhile. So this is aspiring beekeeper. I hope we have duct tape for this, for the legs. Right? We do? No?
Oh, like I say, the bees will find any
They'll
holes
find a hole.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it will fit. As long as it's not too short.
make you dance a bit. Depending on where they come in.
First time bee inspection. We'll need to make a good impression, eh? That's the one?
That's the one. So here, yeah, this is the front.
So, help me out. What are we doing?
We are going to go over there and pull off the winter wraps, and then we'll have a look in the hives and see how they're doing. That's exactly.
Do they like it when you do this?
They never really like anything we do, but.
So this is where the technical maneuver comes in, because this can put a hole in your ass.
That's right.
That's exactly where the bees are going to come.
It usually just rips you right at the crotch.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good.
And they'll find the
where you
hole.
want it.
That's what we figured out already.
This is a feeder.
Yeah.
So in the winter we can put in some sugar syrup in there, and the bees can collect it. If they're getting a little short of feed, we give them a little extra. Give them extra brood in this one. Oh, here's a little brood.
There you go.
In here,
Yeah.
you'll see all the pollen they've brought in,
Yeah.
and here's some fresh honey on the outside,
Oh, I see.
and then the center is all the brood.
There's an awful lot of opportunity when you make something and you have a good product like bees, which people have lived with for ages.
Yeah.
So what are the kind of things that goes through your head now when you see these young fellows making something with a product you've been probably farming forever?
I think it's fantastic, honestly. This creation of making mead out of our product has got all of the boys back home and involved in the business.
What was some of the experiences that stands out for you in the last 4 or 5 years of being the guinea pig?
Well, the product development nights can get pretty rough, but it's been fun. We went from living out on a quarter section of bush in the middle of nowhere, and now we have a pretty open door, and we have a lot of people that come to the farm, so it's been a lot of fun.
You too can become part of this journey. Come help us. Let's celebrate these businesses together. Donate to our site, www.forwardthefavor.com, and we will bring you more of these exciting programs.